Good morning, class. Today for math, you're going to need pages 145 and 147 from your math book. If you don't have them yet, please go grab them and then press play when you return. Today, we are working on lesson 3.2 in your GoMath book on relating addition and multiplication. The essential question is, how is multiplication like addition? How is it different? Okay, so let's look at our first problem. Tamika needs 3 apples to make 1 loaf of apple bread. Each is a clue word for multiplication for equal groups. Loaf has the same number of apples. How many apples does Tamika need to make 4 loaves? Okay, so I want you to think about how many loaves is Tamika making? 4 loaves. How many apples are in each loaf? Well, there's 3 apples in each loaf. And how can we solve the problem? We are going to we're going to actually do it in 2 ways. The first way is we can skip count by 3s. And we can also use repeated addition. So we can add 3 4 times. All right, so the first way we're going to do it is we're going to skip count by 3s using equal groups. So here we go. It says use 4 circles to show the 4 loaves. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of these is a loaf of bread. Draw 3 counters in each circle to show the apples Tamika needs for each loaf. So here's the first one. She needs 3 apples. So here's 1, 2, 3 apples to make 1 loaf, because it says there's 3 apples to make 1 loaf, and in each loaf, so each loaf has 3 apples. So I need to go ahead and draw 3 apples in each loaf. It kind of looks like a startled face emoji, doesn't it? All right, so everybody should have 3 apples in each of their loaves. Find the number of counters. Well, to find the number of counters, we could skip count, right? 3, 6, 9, 12. We can also use repeated addition. So we can complete this addition sentence. So we're adding up the numbers in each one. So I'm going to write them here just because I want to show it to you. If I'm adding up the number of counters in each one, then it's 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So let's write it here. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So I'm adding 3 4 times because there are 4 groups. So 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12. So Tamika needs 12 apples to make 4 loaves of apple bread. Okay, flip it over. Another way is that we can multiply. So skip counting and repeated addition are the same as multiplying. Okay, if you can skip count and you can use repeated addition, you can multiply. So when you combine equal groups, you can multiply to find how many in all. So think 4 groups of 3. Here's our 4 loaves of bread, right? And they have 3 apples each. So let's go ahead and draw in the 3 apples in each loaf. Okay, everybody should have 3 apples in each loaf of bread. Now, since there are the same number of counters in each circle, you can multiply to find out how many in all. You cannot multiply if the number is not the same in each group. You can only multiply if it's equal groups, meaning each group has the same amount. That is very important. Multiplication is another way to find how many there are altogether in equal groups. So you would write 4, which is a factor, times 3, which is a factor, which equals 12, which is the product. Now, You might be saying, well, how did you know what to write? I am about to show you the biggest trick of all. Ready? If they tell you there are 4 groups of 3, watch this. There are 4 groups of 3. You're going to take the word groups of and turn it into a multiplication symbol. Anytime you see groups of, you just swap it out with a multiplication symbol, and you have your correct problem. 4 groups of 3. So 4 groups of 3 equals 12. Or you can write it vertically, 4 groups of 3 equals 12. Now, you also might be saying, well, what are these words factor, factor, product? Well, the factors are the numbers being multiplied. So 4 times 3, that means 4 is a factor and 3 is a factor. The product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Just how the sum is an answer to an addition problem and the difference is the answer to a subtraction problem, the product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So to explain, it would be factor times factor equals product. Okay? Share and show. Write related addition and multiplication sentences for the model. Okay, well, let's count. Do they all have the same amount? Yes, mine all have 5. So I have 4 groups of 5. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add up each group. So this circle has 5, this circle has 5, this circle has 5, and this circle has 5. 5, 10, 15, 20. Now, let's write this multiplication sentence. And I want you to hear me loud and clear, my friends. The order that you write your factors matters. It matters. Look at your groups. Okay? I'm going to write it out so you can see it. How many groups do we have? 4. We have 4 groups of, how many in each group? 5. That means this picture is demonstrating 4 groups of 5 or 4 times 5. 4 groups of 5. Okay? If you wrote 5 times 4, that is incorrect because this model is not showing us 5 times 4. This model, this picture is showing us 4 times 5. Now, I'm going to grab a different color and show you what 5 times 4 would look like. So if you wanted to write 5 times 4, which yes, it would have the same answer, but the picture used to represent it is going to be different, okay? Because 5 times 4 is in fact 5 groups of 4, right? So that means I need to draw 5 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each group is going to have 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This picture is representing 5 times 4 because it is 5 groups of 4. This picture is representing 4 times 5 because it is 4 groups of 5. So when you're doing your assignment, if you wrote this backwards and you said that this picture represents 5 times 4, it would be marked wrong. So it is very important that you understand where these numbers are coming from. They are coming from this phrase, groups of. Okay? All right, grab your next page, which is 147. Okay? It says, draw a quick picture to show the equal groups. Then write related addition and multiplication sentences. So again, it matters how many groups you draw. It matters the order of your multiplication sentence. So pay attention to what it is saying. 3 groups of 6. How many groups? 3. So draw 3 groups. 1, 2, 3. So I have my 3 groups, right? Okay, how many in each group? 3 groups of 6. So I need 6 in each group. All right, I've got that. Now, I want to add up the number of each group. So for my repeat addition, my first group has 6, plus my second group has 6, plus my third group has 6. If I skip counted by 6, then I have 6, 12, 18. That is the repeated addition. If you wrote 3 in here, you're not going to get the right answer. There's 6 in each. Now let's look at the multiplication sentence. Remember, the order matters. So, 3 groups of 6. Well, I've taught you that groups of can be replaced with the multiplication symbol. So I have 3 groups of 6. So it should be written 3 groups of 6. 3 times 6, which is 18, because the answer is the same. If you wrote 6 times 3 here, that would be incorrect, because 6 times 3 represents 6 groups of 3. We don't have 6 groups of 3. We have 3 groups of 6. So please work carefully. Look at number 3. 2 groups of 3. Okay, well, I have 2 groups, so I'm going to draw 2 groups. 1, 2. Okay. How many in each group? 2 groups of 3. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I have 2 groups of 3. We're going to use repeated addition to find the total. This group has 3. This group has 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. Now let's figure out the multiplication sentence. Again, groups of replaces a multiplication sign. So 2 groups of 3 is 2 times 3. All right, numbers 4 and 5. Draw a quick picture to show the equal groups, then write related addition and multiplication sentences. I want you to pause the video, solve 4 and 5, and come back when you're finished. Okay, if you're back, you are finished with 4 and 5. If you are not finished, you need to stop the video right now, go back and finish 4 and 5. Do not just wait for me to do it. So first I have 4 groups of 2. So you should have drawn 4 groups There's my 4 groups of 2. And you should have 2 in each group. Okay? This is not what you have. You need to pause and erase and correct. Now, 4 groups of 2, I'm going to use repeated addition to add them up. So this group has 2, this group has 2, this group has 2, this group has 2. We can skip count 2, 4, 6, 8, and we know that the total is 8. Now for multiplication, I'm going to look at my phrase up here, groups of. I have 4 groups of 2, which I know equals 8. If you wrote 2 times 4, you're incorrect. 2 groups of 4 looks way different than 4 groups of 2. Look at number 5. We have 5 groups of 4. So you should have drawn 5 groups. Okay? And you should have drawn 4 in each group. Okay, so I'm going to use repeated addition to add those up. Each group has 4, so I'm adding up 4 5 times because it's here 5 times. Now we can skip count, right? And remember what I taught you, that if you have a hard time skip counting by 4s, then just skip count by 2 twice. Watch. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay? So you don't have to know how to skip count by 4s perfectly. You can do 2s and double it. Now let's write the multiplication sentence. 5 groups of 4. That should be 5 times 4. 5 groups of 4, which equals 20, because we already found that out here. If you wrote 4 times 5, you were incorrect, because this is showing us 5 groups of 4, so it should be 5 times 4. All right, let's do some word problems. Zach buys 4 packs of pens. Each is your multiplication symbol. Pack has 4 pens. Write a multiplication sentence to show how many pens Zach buys. Okay, so Zach buys 4 packs. Okay, well, the packs are the group, right? And I'm going to draw a picture to show that. So this is what you should be doing to help you solve. So draw the 4 packs of pens. So there's 1 pack, 2 packs, 3 packs, 4 packs, okay? Each pack has 4 pens. So now just draw the 4 pens in the 4 packs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, you with me so far? So now that I took the information from my problem and made a picture, that it's really easy to figure out my multiplication sentence. How many groups do I have? 4. How many in each group? 4. Okay, so 4 times 4, well, maybe you don't know that. You don't have to know that yet. You can skip count. And remember, this is 4s, so you can double your 2s. You can say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And there you have your answer. Okay, go to number 7. Ada has 3 vases. She puts 5 flowers in each vase. Each is a clue word for multiplication. Write a multiplication sentence to show how many flowers Ada puts in the vases. So before I even jump to this and try to figure it out, I need to draw a picture so I can understand which is the groups and which is the number inside the groups. So let's draw the 3 vases. I'm just going to draw ovals. Okay. There's 5 flowers in each vase. So I need to draw 5 flowers in each vase. So I'm just going to do circles. Okay. So I've got 5 flowers in each vase. Now I need to write my multiplication sentence. So how many groups are there in this picture? 3. There are 3 groups of how many in each group? 5. Well, you might say, well, Mrs. Rankin, I don't know what 3 times 5 is. I don't expect you to know what 3 times 5 is. We just started our multiplication unit. But you do know how to skip count, so let's go back to our groups. There's 5 in each group, so we can skip count by 5. 5, 10, 15. So 3 times 5 totals to 15. Okay. Mrs. Tomar buys 2 packs of vanilla yogurt and, remember, and is an addition clue word, 3 packs of strawberry yogurt. Each pack, that's a multiplication, has 4 yogurts. How many yogurts does Mrs. Tomar buy? Well, let's draw a picture, okay? So first, let's do the packs of vanilla yogurt. So there's 2 packs. There's my 2 packs of vanilla yogurt. And then there's 3 packs of strawberry yogurt. Okay. Each pack has 4 yogurts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, it's going to be so much easier to solve these problems when you draw a picture. How many yogurts does Mrs. Tomar buy? It doesn't ask how many vanilla yogurts does she buy. It doesn't ask how many strawberry yogurts does she buy. It asks me how many yogurts does she buy. So I need to do them all together. So looking at this, how many groups do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 groups of how many in each group? 4. So 5 groups of 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to skip count. And we're going to do it by doing 2's twice to equal 4. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 5 times 4 is 20. But 20 what? We need a label. Yogurts. Up here, we didn't have a label because all they were asking us was to write the multiplication sentence. Down here, we're answering a question to a word problem. We need a label. Murray buys 3 packs of red peppers and, that means to combine or add, 4 packs of green peppers. Each, which means multiply, pack has 4 peppers. How many peppers does Murray buy? Guess what? I know you're surprised. We're going to draw a picture. So we have 3 packs of red peppers. Let's draw that. 1, 2, 3. We have 4 packs of green peppers. Whew, all right. Each pack has 4 peppers. Does take a while sometimes to draw your pictures, but they're very helpful. Okay, our picture is drawn now. How many groups do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 groups of, how many in each group? They all have 4, so 7 groups of 4. Again, it's a 4, so that means we can skip count by 2 twice. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. 28 what? How many peppers? 28 peppers. Please remember as you're doing your work that the order you write your multiplication sentence in does matter. Your first number should be how many groups. Your second number should be how many in each group. So work very, very carefully with any word problems. Draw a picture. Don't guess. Have fun.